together. Nice. Okay. So what's the value? If you know what the price is per kilogram and how many kilograms, what do you do with those two numbers to get the value? What do you do with those two numbers? You multiply them. So what's the value of X kilograms of nuts?
2.5x.
Correct. What about Y kilograms of cereal? 1.0 times Y. And then how many kilograms of the mixture do we want? 30. And what's the price? We want it to be a price per kilogram of 1.7. So how do we get the price per kilogram of the mixture? 30 times 1.7. So you know that 2.5x plus 1.0y has to equal 30 times 1.7. But you also know that x plus y has to be equal to what? 30. How many equations is that?
2.
Substitution, elimination. You could graph it if you really wanted to. The setup is most of the work. And they give you, they set up the setup for you. They give you the blanks, fill in the blanks, and now what method would you slide towards using? Substitution. You get y is equal to 30 minus x. Where can you plug that in? First equation. Travels right there, and what do you end up with? 2.5x plus 30 minus x is equal to 30 times 1.7. It's going to be 51. So what's that going to be? It's going to be 1.5x plus 30 is equal to 51. So 1.5x is equal to 21. So x is equal to 14. So once you get x, x plus y is 30, so y is going to have to be 16. They set you up a nice table, fill in the blanks, and then generate your equations. Okay, so you know that distance equals rate times time. Do we know how it's the same amount of time in each case? Well, do they say 1 hour? They don't tell you what the time is, but it's the same time in each place. So if the time is t here, what does it have to be in the other place? T. Do you agree? Do you understand what I'm saying there? If time, it's not t and r, it's going to be t and t because they're both taking the same amount of time. You know that distance equals what times what?
Rate times time.
So from this first line, you know that 150 is equal to what? X times t. And what do you know from the second line? 400 equals y times t. We did one like this before. It's the same t in each case. What can you isolate in each of them? You could isolate t. So from this one, you know that t is equal to what? And from this one, you know that t is equal to 400 over y. Well, if t is equal to 150 over x and t is equal to 400 over y, what do you know has to be true? 150 over x, 400 over y. That is a relationship between x and y. We now have one relationship between x and y. We have two variables. How many relationships are we looking for? 2. We have one of them. We have, okay. What does it tell you? Oh, the second sentence right here. If the rate of the plane, and that's the y, the rate of the plane is 20 kilometers less than 3 times the rate of the train. Can someone who hasn't spoken tell me what the relationship is? Katie, what's it going to be?
Y times 3 minus 20
Yep.
equals x.
Correct. The rate of the plane is 20 kilometers. Oh, are you sure that that's correct?
The rate of plane is 20 kilometers per hour
Less than 3 times the rate of the...
train. Oh,
So y is going to be equal to...
y equals 3x minus 20.
Correct.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. Just be careful. It's
Yeah,
fine. You were absolutely right.
stuff that-
Yeah. So we have one relationship, and then we have a second relationship. What method would you like to use on this? Substitution, elimination, or graphing?
Is that supposed to be 150?
Yes, it is supposed to be 150. It is 150. Yes, Kelly?
How can you plug in x and make it x? So you have
What do you
50
mean?
Over x. How can you plug in that? How can you plug that in?
You know that t is equal to this and t is equal to that. If a equals b equals c, a has to equal c.
Yeah.
They both equal. Sorry, are you okay with this expression right there?
Yeah, but how would you plug that in to make it?
I'll show you.
Yeah.
So do you agree with? Is everybody okay with these two equations right there? Okay. What do we have? Have we isolated y in the first one? Yeah. So where can you take this? You could take this and plug it in right there. So what's it going to become? 150 over x is equal to 400 over what? 3x minus 20. How many variables do you see right there? One equation, one variable. Theoretically, we can solve this. What are we going to do?
Cross-multiply.
Cross multiply. So if we cross multiply, what do we end up with? 150 times
3x
minus 20 equals
400x.
400x. So 450x minus 450 equals 400x. Subtract 400x and add. So what do you get? 50x is equal to, how many 450s are, how many 50s are in 450? X equals, what do you think? 9. So once you get x equals 9, oh, did we have an, we know what y equals. What does y equal? 3 times x minus 20. What's 3 times 9? 27 minus 20 is 7. 9 and 7. So what did we just find here?
Rates of the train.
Did we find the rates of the train in the plane? Wow. Are they going very fast? What do you think? Right there. What's 150? Yeah, look. I just multiplied incorrectly right there, kids. This can be a lot bigger than that, right? No, just say it. Yeah, no, they're not. No. What's it going to be? It's going to be minus what? Minus 3,000. Is that a little different? Yeah, 50x is equal to 3,000. So what does x equal? 60. Is that better? Yes, that's better. And we know that y is equal to 3 times 60 minus 20. So what's that going to be? 180 minus 20 is 160. Is that a lot better?
Yes.
Yeah. So we caught that error with the reality check of, it doesn't seem to work. It's too slow. Is that a little better? Yeah, that's a little better. Absolutely. Good. 3,000. Exactly. And you know that 0.02x plus 0.04y has to equal what? 100. How many equations do you see?
2.
What method do you want to use to solve this?
Substitution.
Substitution. We like y is equal to 3,000 minus, and then where's that going to go?
After 0.
Yeah. So 0.02x plus 0.04 times 3,000. Generally speaking, if you had to do this question, what might you assume you have? Yeah, it's just a little annoying. I mean, for me, if I wanted to get rid of these things nicely, I would multiply everything by 100. If I multiply everything by 100, I end up with 2x plus 4 times 3,000 minus x equals 10000. 10,000. Are those bigger numbers? Yes, but what did I get rid of? I got rid of the decimals. That's what I would do.
So 3,000 isn't affected by you multiplying it?
No, because when you have a times b times c, all I'm doing is multiplying by 100. I did the multiplication for the first two things, which is 100 times 0.04. The 3,000 is not affected. That is correct. So when you keep on moving on this, this is what I would do if I didn't have a calculator. 2x plus, what is that, 12,000? Minus 4x is equal to 10,000. So you get negative 2x is equal to negative 2,000. So x is going to be equal to 1,000. So what's y going to be? You know that x plus y is 3,000, so y is 2,000.
I think